Never seen somebody throw in the white towel like that. The white flag is surrendering in the swag wars. Look at me and look at him. Hopefully he sounds better than he looks right now. Let's get it started in Philly. What are you doing? There's breaking news for the Eagles. Doug Peterson has named rookie Jalen Hurts as his starting quarterback for Sunday's game against the Saints. Hurts replaced Carson Wentz in the third quarter last Sunday and threw a touchdown pass in the loss to the Packers. Wentz is having the worst year of his career and now will be on the pine, on the bench. So, Acho, do you agree with the Eagles' decision to start Jalen Hurts in your button up?
It's dumb, and it's dumb. Marcellus Wiley, it doesn't make any sense. And I'm talking about C-E-N-T-S, not S-E-N-S-E. It doesn't make any sense to start Jalen Hurts. There's a litany of reasons why, but let's start with the most pressing issue at hand. Carson Wentz, $59 million in dead cap money over these next few years. So what's your plan, Philadelphia Eagles? Like, what's your plan really? Is it to hope that Jalen Hurts balls out these last 4 games? Maybe you make the playoffs, but maybe you don't. And then what do you do next year? Bench Carson Wentz, who will make $962,000 per game, to Jalen Hurts' $880,000 for the whole season. So that don't make sense. Okay. Maybe Jalen Hurts goes out there and struggles. Now what? You're going to put Carson Wentz back in? It's a lose-lose situation, Marcellus. And the situation became a lose-lose situation as soon as they drafted Jalen Hurts. Why do I say that? Marcellus, what is the thief of all joy? Comparison.
Yeah.
The comparison. What you got to realize is this. Philadelphia Eagles, for better or for worse, y'all are betrothed to Carson Wentz. Y'all are in a marriage with Carson Wentz. Y'all have kids, okay? You ain't going nowhere. So what good, Marcellus Wiley, sir married man, what good does it do you to go on a date with the hot secretary? What good does it do you to go on a date with the hot coworker? Because you are betrothed to Carson Wentz. So if you have a good time on this date with Jalen Hurts, it's not like you can leave Carson Wentz. If you have a bad time on this date with Jalen Hurts, you still got to go back to Carson Wentz, but now he knows you stepped out on him. So the decision to move to Jalen Hurts doesn't make any sense fiscally, doesn't make any sense emotionally. That's just where I'm going to start on my first lap, Sal. That's just where I'm going to start on my first lap.
Good lap. Good lap. You got me a little tired on that lap. I didn't finish the complete 400 with you, Coach. I tapped out around 380, but you were moving on that lap. I like what you said there. You basically tapped into your inner DJ Quick, and I didn't know you were a DJ Quick fan. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And you can go with C or S. It doesn't make sense to Acho. Makes a whole lot of sense to me, man. I think you've forgotten where you came from, Acho. You used to be in that locker room. You used to be in that exact same locker room. Not even me, but I've been on the field before. And I've seen a franchise, because they're hooked to a player financially, that they forget everything else that goes on in terms of team dynamics. If I'm on this team right now, one of the 51 other guys, because Jalen Hurts, Carson Wentz, y'all are in the quarterback controversy. Y'all have to settle that, and we're going to let the powers upstairs be the referee. But if you're talking about the other 51 players like me, oh, man, you got to put Jalen Hurts in. This is a smart decision if you're Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson is into self-preservation, just like all of us are when we're playing sports at the professional level. Business first. And let's talk about the business of Doug Peterson, why he put Jalen Hurts in. One, he needs to detach himself from the sinking ship, which is known as USS Carson Wentz. He has to get off. He has to bail. He like, hell no. Everybody is now questioning me as a coach because this dude can't play quarterback all of a sudden. And trust me, I'm the quarterback whisperer. How in the hell now does my quarterback not know how to perform at an adequate level? Not even up to his contract, just at a league average level. He has regressed to the point where if you look at this full screen, it's amazing how broken Carson Wentz is. Broken wings. 30th passer rating, 31st completion percentage, passing yards per attempt, 30th, 26 yards per game. Oh, we cracked the top top 20 in passing touchdowns at 19, most giveaways. There's no way Doug Peterson can continue to drown with Carson Wentz. This is some advice they give you in lifeguard school. In lifeguard school, they say, go out there and save somebody, but don't let both of you guys drown. What does that mean? If they're fighting, if they don't want the help, if they can't help you come back to shore, make sure both of you don't drown. Doug Peterson's not drowning with Carson Wentz.
But here's the issue, Sel, which you are not considering, and nor is Doug Peterson, apparently.
Okay.
The tide in which they have to face this upcoming week is the roughest tide of all the oceans in the entire world. The Saints defense, the last 5 games, #1 in scoring defense, #1 in total defense, #1 in total pressures, #2 in sacks in these last 5 games. So not only are you throwing Jalen Hurts out there, his first start, but you're going to throw him out there in his first start against the best team in football. Currently on a best team currently in football on a 9-game winning streak, held their opponents the last 5 games to 3 points, 13 points, 9 points, 6 points? Like you're putting Jalen Hurts in a position to fail. But here's what I don't get. It's not like they're replacing Carson Wentz with, I don't know, Peyton Manning in his prime. You're replacing him with the rookie Jalen Hurts that made some splash plays. And I told y'all, I've loved Jalen Hurts since Alabama, loved Jalen Hurts at Oklahoma. But Jalen Hurts got sacked 3 times, counted up, and against the Packers. Jalen Hurts, he threw an interception too. It's not like he played a perfect game. Is Jalen Hurts going to make Alshon Jeffrey lose weight? Is Jalen Hurts going to keep Jason Peters on the field? Is Jalen Hurts going to bring Lane Johnson back from the surgery operating room? Is Jalen Hurts going to help Greg Ward grow 5 to 6 inches? Is Jalen Hurts going to make Boston Scott Barry Sanders? I don't know, Marcellus. So you act as though Jalen Hurts is some cure-all, some magical elixir that you can buy somewhere on Venice Beach somewhere. The fact of the matter is, sure, he provided a spark. The spark led to a loss. Carson Wentz, no spark, still a loss. I don't like to lose pretty. It doesn't make a difference to me how glamorous the outcome is if the outcome is still the outcome.
Look, you can't make that assumption. You can't make that leap that they're going to lose or that they're going to struggle with Jalen Hurts. He's a big question mark right now. But what do you have to lose if you put Jalen Hurts out there? He can't literally be worse than Carson Wentz because Carson Wentz is literally at the bottom of most major statistical categories. So this is a situation, man. Look, Fast and Furious 9 is supposed to be out right now. It's coming out next year. You got to hit the nitrous. You can't just be sitting there losing in the race. We're talking about a quarterback competition. And in that quarterback competition, because now it's a controversy, we're going to let you stand on your own merits. Oh, we can't do that with Jalen Hurts because in 10 games, he's only had 33 snaps and only 1 snap where Carson Wentz wasn't on the field. So what do you do if you're Doug Peterson? Okay, I'm going to give you first-team reps this week. Okay, I'm going to let you have chemistry with this offense because I know how we look with Carson Wentz. But I'm not so certain how we look, if not better, with you, Jalen Hurts. Let's think about this. Jalen Hurts averaged 9.1 yards per attempt on Sunday. The last time we saw that from Carson Wentz was in Week 8 of 2018. My 2 youngest kids weren't even born yet. Week 8 of 2018 is the last time we saw Carson Wentz even do something similar to what we saw from Jalen Hurts in just 4 series. Oh, I'm not done with you. In just 4 series, Hurts had 2 completions of 20-plus air yards. You know how long it took Carson Wentz to get those same 2 completions? 2 full games. Jalen Hurts, 4 drives. Carson Wentz, 2 full games. The point is the contrast is so stark. It's so different that now we just got to go and see what's in the bush. I know we got a bird in the hand, but that bird is dying in Carson Wentz. It's time to go with the 2 in the bush, and hopefully that's the nitrous and Jalen Hurts in his production.
So here's what you don't understand, sir. Here's what you don't understand.
I don't understand.
What's the point in playing Jalen Hurts? Even if you win. No, even if you win, Sal, what do you win? It's kind of like Floyd Mayweather. Who he about to fight? Logan Paul, Jake Paul, one of them Pauls? Even if Floyd wins, what do you win?
Oh, I got you.
If the Eagles win with Jalen Hurts, the Eagles currently have a 7% chance of making the playoff. 7%. There is a 100% chance they owe Carson Wentz $25 million next year. By the third day of the league year, March 2021, they owe him $15 million for 2022. There's a 7% chance you make the playoffs. Jalen Hurts, Carson Wentz. It don't matter. 7%. It's a 100% chance you owe Carson Wentz this bread. So when you look at it, even if Jalen Hurts goes out there and beats the Saints, which would be great, as an Eagles fan, it would be fantastic, you still don't win anything except more and more and more controversy.
Man, look, stop that. Because you just keep umbrelling this entire situation by the financial scope. So what I learned in debate school, even though I never went to a class, is I'm going to beat you at your argument using your own words, your own rhetoric. Let's stay in this financial scope. Okay. I wonder who played in the Super Bowl in terms of financial scope last year. Oh, it was the Kansas City Chiefs versus the San Francisco 49ers. But let's stay in the financial scope. That was the team that spent the most money against the cap versus the team that spent the least money against the cap. You know what that tells me, Acho? That you can find a team that can compete for a championship by spending the most or spending the least. Even if you're getting taxed because you got the Titanic on your roster by the name of Carson Wentz, that's how bad he's playing, you still will give yourself an opportunity to contend for a Super Bowl championship. This is not a Super Bowl roster this year, but this is a team that still can make some noise and potentially get in at least the playoffs. If you get in the playoffs with Jalen Hurts, and then you just come to the realization, no matter how much we spend, we still have an opportunity to contend, guess what you can do next year? Run it back. And I know it's some dead money on your roster. The Titanic is sinking on your roster financially, but you can still run it back to make sure that 51, if not now 52 guys are all a part of the fold, or all a part of the team concept. And you leave the Titanic, Carson Wentz, over there to sink.